everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Georgia. I hope you're well. Today we are doing it. I am finally going to read Fearless by Lauren Roberts. Now I know that this book came out literally like 2-3 months ago, but I didn't want to do it. I wasn't ready. I've seen the amount of tears that have been shed over this book and I just wasn't mentally prepared. I'm still not mentally prepared, but it's time. It's like 3 months old news now and I still haven't read it. And do you know what? I'm still going to do a reading vlog because I want to. And I know the hype is dead now and everybody's over it, but I am not. I have only just mentally prepared. I am going to try and do this as spoiler free as possible, but you will get my reactions and probably some like out of text quotes. In preparation for this video, I have reread the rest of the series. I tandem read Powerless and Powerful, and I also reread Fearless as well. So I actually tabbed and annotated for the first time. You can see my markings for the tandem read and then all my tabs for the quotes and things that I love. And the same for Reckless, I tabbed that as well. This is honestly one of my favourite series of all time. It's one of the series that really got me into reading. So if you don't know what this series is, it's a fantasy romance one. It is technically YA, I think, but I still love it. I'm not usually a massive fan of YA, but I absolutely love the series. So Powerless, we follow our main characters Hayden and Kai. So in this world we have people who have powers and we have people who don't have powers. Now if you're an ordinary and you don't have powers, you're banished or killed. Hayden doesn't have powers. Her dad taught her how to appear as a psychic and taught her how to sort of live in this world. Book 1 is a trial-based game, so Hayden gets selected for these trials. Basically there's these different trials and each trial sort of like leads on to the next one. But obviously she is in this trial with all these different people who have these amazing powers when she is powerless. We then have our main male character Kai. Now Kai is the enforcer, so he is the king's enforcer, he's the king's son. Kai's job is basically to get rid of those who don't have powers. Now obviously Hayden doesn't have powers, but Kai doesn't know that, so there is this whole sort of thing throughout the trials of her having to try and prove herself. They strike up a romance and the book kind of follows their romance throughout these trials. Powerful is the same timeline as Powerless, but from Hayden's best friend's perspective, Adina. So the two best friends can sort of like work together and live together to survive in the slums. So they're stealing food and fabrics so that Adina can make clothes to sell, so that Hayden and Adina can live basically. This follows Adina's sort of adventure whilst she's on her own in the slums while Hayden's off in these trials, and her own little romance. So like I said, these do happen at the same time. So I've read them separately and I've read them together. So I read them together on reread, and that is how I recommend reading them. Together is so much better in my opinion. Now Reckless is more of like a cat and mouse game. So Kai is having to bring Hayden back to the king. So there is a big ending in Powerless and it all kind of goes to shit, to put it lightly. In this one, the king orders Kai to find Hayden and bring her to him. Now obviously Kai and Hayden are in love, so Kai is really split on how to do this. He has to bring her back and prove himself to the king, but at the same time knows that he is more than likely delivering Hayden to her death. That's what this book's about. So Hayden manages to escape and this is Kai trying to bring her home. So it's their adventures from her escape and from the Scorchers and bring her back to the castle. Now this book ends on such a cliffhanger, so I have been dreading picking up the next book and seeing how this all goes down. I was literally like screaming when I read the last chapter of this book. Moving on from this, I am now about to pick up Fearless. So annoyingly I don't have the paper copies, so I am just going to tab this one, and then once I get the paperback I will then move all my tabs and annotations over to a paper copy so that I've got it all the same. But it's time. I've been putting it off long enough. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And as always, my social media, my Amazon, my Goodreads and my business email are all in the description bar below. Let's finally pick up Fearless. This book starts off right at the end of Reckless, like there's not a minute between them. It goes straight into the end of Reckless. Honestly, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. So we've not even sort of like passed the point of what we saw in Reckless yet and I'm already getting stressed. I love Kai and Hayden's relationship. Like the things that they say are just amazing, and like some of the quotes from the first two books are incredible, and everybody needs somebody who speaks to them the way Kai speaks to Hayden. Like he is so utterly obsessed and in love with that woman. And roles reversed as well, even through everything going on and their differences and like the power dynamic between them. They're just made for each other. They just are. So I'm just going to read you a little bit, and I'm literally on page 15 and I'm already getting quotes that I love. This is one that will absolutely be getting a tab, but it just says, "Damn the pretending, damn the hiding, damn everything but him and us in this moment where I need him, but he's nowhere to be found. And for the first time since stealing those silvers from him on Loot Alley, I feel utterly alone. That is literally one of the first scenes in Powerless, and it just shows you the full circle of everything. It breaks my heart. It absolutely breaks my heart. I'm just gonna keep reading, but I will keep giving you pretty much all the quotes that I tab if they're not like huge spoilers. Their love is just incredible, and their obsession with each other and their need for each other is just amazing. And obviously it's so forbidden because of all the things that happen at the end of Powerless, but like they just have the purest love. I'm gonna keep reading. Let's go. I've already decided that this book is gonna be the death of me. It's that simple. So I finally got to Kai's perspective. I stare unblinking at the symbol my brother slid onto her finger. It's binding, it's infinite, it's my undoing. Her laugh threatens to slip past my numb lips. It's not as though she hadn't promised to be my ruin, hadn't already become my demise. She is the single most destructive thing I've ever desired, and yet it is the diamond on her finger that will destroy me. Oh, I feel for Kai so much. Like, the love triangle that's been brewing throughout the first 2 books is just amazing, but how this has all kind of gone full circle is just incredible. Lauren Roberts is a genius. The little like crumbs that we've got of this so far anyway, and like the way that it all sort of wraps together is just so good. The love triangle is triangling good and proper. I live like 3 seconds later and I'm back. I've been nothing but willing when it comes to drowning in those ocean eyes, but now I can't fathom drowning if she's not the anchor I'm sinking with. He's such a little poet, isn't he? Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. I actually can't do it. I'm on page 27 and I can't do it. I'm literally about to start chapter 3, but I can't. Oh darling, I know you don't, but if I am to be your enforcer, then you better get used to it. I am no one's queen. Is that so? Then you have no much idea how much power you hold over me. You seem to forget that I am completely powerless, Prince. So be my weakness then. I'm not gonna read that bit because that's a spoiler. Does that mean I have to drag you into a closet every time I want to touch you? You're not supposed to touch me at all, but you could command me to, then I'd simply be following an order. Oh, I feel for Kai so much. It's breaking my heart. It's actually, this book is breaking my heart, and I know that it just gets so much worse. Like, I'm already getting angry about the fact that like they can't be what they were at the end of Reckless. So I've just got to chapter 10 and we've just had a chapter from a different perspective, and it's a bit of like a timeline thing, so it goes back to things that have happened previously, and I feel like they're planting all these little seeds and I don't know what any of it means and I'm scared. I am scared. I don't fully understand what we're hinting at here, but it's making me very nervous and I'm not a big fan of it. I have tabbed quite a bit so far, but a lot of them I can't read you because they are like massive spoilers. But yeah, I'm loving what's happening so far. The sort of like development of how we got to this point at the end of Reckless is like really interesting, and how he came to the decision that he makes at the end of that book. We're sort of being drip fed all the information a little bit there. I love some of the characters that we've met previously and how they've sort of windled their way in and got involved in all the decision making and stuff. I just think it's really clever. Like I said, we've had some seeds planted and I don't know where they're going, and it's making me nervous. I'm going to talk about this because I don't really feel like it's a spoiler. It is on the reverse dust jacket of the book, but Payton must prove herself, prove she is strong enough to rule even as an ordinary. That is the only way we believe that they will accept her. And how do we plan on doing that? The people want to send you back into your own trials. So this book is another trial-based book, I'm assuming, from the reversible dust jacket, and from what's just been said, there's more trials. I did wonder sort of like how they were going to do this to keep it sort of upbeat and interesting. Apparently more trials is how you do that. I think it's sort of interesting how we've got so many different sort of like opinions and inputs into this book. So like with the events of what happened in book 1, what happens at the end of book 2 was never going to go down that easily. So it's interesting to see that we've got like the input of the ordinaries, obviously the elites, but we've also got like the mundanes, and we've also got, was it fatals, I think they called them? Part of that group sort of like also involved in the decision making and things, and I just find it so interesting. I am very intrigued to where this book is going to go if we're bringing back some more trials. They're doing these trials to prove that like Payton is strong enough. I'm sorry, but she's completed and survived all of those trials as an ordinary when everyone else was an elite. Why is she having to prove herself again? Like, she's proven that she is strong enough. I'm sorry, but that's BS. These trials will be for Payton alone. They will be structured around the 3 Bs that you all know my father has lived by: bravery, benevolence, and brutality that makes a great ruler. These events will test each of those qualities. This will allow Payton to prove herself worthy. Why is she having to prove herself again? I don't understand. That's just cruel. She has proven herself already. I disagree. I disagree. Just another little quote for you guys. Keeping my distance from him is a trial of its own. It is cruel not being able to call him mine after everything we've endured. Perhaps in another life I am strong enough to never need proof of it. Perhaps in another life I am brave enough to confess that I love him. Perhaps in another life I learn to love him from afar, and that is the most fearless thing of them all. We are officially in the first trial. Let's see how she gets on. It's really cool how they've done the first trial actually, because like there's sort of like snippets from what's happening in Reckless. In some ways it's sort of like she's had those little tastes of this trial and where things might be from hers and Kai's adventures in book 2. So I really like how we've sort of got those little snippets in book 2. It's really hard to explain things without explaining things, because obviously I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but I hope you catch my drift. This book, there's just too many cute quotes. If I die, I need you to find something else worth losing yourself to. I won't let my impending death be yours as well. Promise me that, please. Pay, I would lose my life for you before finding something else worth living for. You are my inevitable in life and in death. It's just so cute. I can't cope. Okay, this new perspective that we've got is not a vibe. Not loving that at all. I feel like my most shocked moments have been this new POV that we've got. Okay, I'm just gonna keep reading because I don't know who we're on about. I think we've just had confirmation of a suspicion I had anyway. Continuing on, these flashbacks, not flashbacks, but like kind of flashbacks are pissing me off, quite frankly. Just another little quote for you guys. I turned slowly towards the dance floor and there she is, striding towards us with a dazzling smile between rosy cheeks. I'm breathless at the sight of her, doomed by the hope of having her. It's a beautiful ruin, a devastating devotion. This girl holds my heart in her hands, could crush it between her fingers and still have me thanking her for the touch. And I hold her shoes. Just love it. It's such an interesting sort of thing, like the dynamic between the brothers and Payden now is just so interesting. Like it's always been an interesting concept between them. Like watching Pay sort of navigate her relationships with them both is just so interesting. It's so interesting. Like the balls and the trial from book 1 and the balls and the trial in book 3, like just the mirror image of them, it's just so interesting. And like we're seeing a lot of the characters from book 1 here now as well in these balls. It's really clever, it's really well done. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really impressed. It sort of like really easily sums up everything I was just saying about her dynamic with the two brothers. The boys lean against a pillar, back suits stark against the marble and stone, and I can't focus on anything else because holy shit they look good. I can feel my smile growing as I walk towards them in as straight as of a line as I can manage. They're a pretty pair, the Isaac brothers, and I have the rest of my life to spend with them. So yeah, if that doesn't give you a good idea of the dynamic we have going on at the moment, I don't know what will. Still a Kai girl through and through. I'm sorry. Kit's sweet, but now we move on. We continue. Let's get back to reading. A weird little observation for you. It might be completely irrelevant, but I don't think it is. What's up with Kit? Who knows? Who knows? Moving on. Again, it's the new perspective that's like got me. Some of the things said in this new perspective are just horrible. And I was writing what I was thinking earlier about where this was and what this means, and I'm not happy. I'm not happy about it at all. It's putting a lot of things into perspective about Kai and Kit's dad and like Ava as well. It also makes a lot of sense of why he hates Ordinary so much, I think, and why that became such a big focus for him. A lot of things are coming to light throughout this book of why things have happened the way they have. So I'm now on like the second trial, and it's very different to the ones we've had already, and I really like how it's working. I think it's a really interesting way of doing it. I do think the trials in this book have been quite a lot more interesting and just like different to how they are in book 1, if that makes sense. So it does make it feel quite different. It's not just a repeat of Trials and Balls. The trials are very, very different. Something's just clicked and now I'm scared. Chapter 27, for those of you who have read it, where we find out about I'm trying to explain it without explaining it so that people who have read this know what I mean. Iris and him getting rid of something. Please don't tell me that's who I think it might be. Please don't, because that means that, you know. No, I'm really hoping I'm wrong about this. I'm really hoping I'm wrong. I better be wrong, I swear to God. I will scream if I'm not wrong. It's a couple of days later and I've read some more of Fearless. There's been like a pirate bit which I've really enjoyed because we've not had anything like that yet in the Powerless trilogy, so I'm really enjoying that. We've had a lot of new characters and like visits. We're visiting sort of like other places, so it's been really interesting and very different to the rest of the series so far. I don't have many more like cute little quotes for you because it's been quite action packed recently, so I am just over halfway now. I'm on chapter 36 and I'm really enjoying it. I am really enjoying this book, so I'm gonna keep going and then I'll be back when I have any sort of like update or a little cute quote I can tell you without giving you spoilers. We're gonna ignore this date. I can't remember when I last actually updated you guys, but I've been reading for a little bit today and there's been some really cute quotes, so I just thought I'd catch you up a little bit. We've had the second trial, that's now complete, so we're moving on to the third trial, so it's been sort of just like the progression between trial 2 and 3, sorry. So we have had an implication with one of the characters who she needed revenge on from book 1, and that scene was brutal. That's been sort of brewing for a while, so that one come in. But during one of those brutal scenes, one of the characters says, "I do marvel at how incredibly ordinary you are." Payden says, "Of course you marvel at it because you will never know real power. Yours was given, but mine was found." And I really liked that. James is cooking me dinner, so that's the background noise you can hear. Bless him, he's making us food. And then a little bit further on, she's like, "Where's your sword? I need to hit something." And he's like, "A ray of sunshine, this one." And then they're like, "I thought we were keeping our distance." And she says, "Making an exception is because you wish to hit something." "Yes, and for once it's not you." So they just have this constant like back and forth banter that I really, really like. And now it's time for the third trial. So on the way to the third trial, there's a line that just says, "The first time I walked between these row of drooping trees was for survival, the second a promise, and now a title." And I just really like the progression because again it's just that mirror between this book and book 1, which I'm really enjoying. And then she's like going down memory lane as she's walking down this tunnel, and there an enforcer was born, hovering over blank. "He threw a blade with the aim of a warrior but the damning heart of a fool," which I thought was a really lovely little quote. And then a little conversation between Payden and one of the other characters on the way to the third trial again. It just says, "I need you to win this, okay? Don't stop being a cockroach now, princess." Because he's constantly calling her a cockroach because she could just never dies, which I thought was really funny. And now we are fine. I kind of wish I was filming when I read this bit. I called it a while back. "I can feel the exact moment my heart shatters. It's when I turn, my eyes crashing into ones well memorized. When mist meets the deepest sea, when a shadow meets its flame, when inevitability meets its end, when I stare into the face of what I love most." And now trial 3 is officially on. I'm on page 319, so I've got probably a third left to go roughly, but I'm going to see how chapter 3 plays out because I have no idea how they're going to get out of this one, and I'm terrified, like almost to the point where I'm just like, I'm just not going to read it. I don't even want to know how they're going to fix this situation, and because of the amount of people I've seen bawling their eyes out at this book, I genuinely don't know if they're going to fix it. I'm actually so scared. Oh my god. I'm so confused. What? What? No. 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 I actually refuse. No. I can see why so many people are like bawling their eyes out at this book. This is brutal. I'm so confused. It actually can't be. I refuse. What? What? I hate this book. Okay, we are in a very different location to normal as it's sunny outside and I'm off today, so I'm going to make the most of it. So today we are going to literally sit in the garden and finish this book. I have 127 pages left. It's a sad time really because I don't really know if I'm mentally prepared to sit and finish this book, but we're going to do it anyway. So I'm just going to sit down, I'm going to get comfy and I'm going to read this book. I'll come back when I've got any sort of like quotes or anything. I can't believe I'm saying that, but let's finish Fearless. I say I have the fairest skin. I mean the fairest skin. I've been sat outside for like maybe an hour and I'm burning, and that's with sun cream. So there's no shade on our garden at the moment. So I've decided to come inside, give my skin a bit of a break. So we're going to sit inside and continue reading Fearless. So literally everything has kicked off since I last spoke to you guys. There's been so many insane twists and turns. There's been some very big sort of like revelations. There's been just a lot going on. So yeah, we are definitely getting to like the final sort of bit, but there's been some very big eye-opening things going on. Some news about Hayden and her family, some truths about the king and the royals and things like that, and it's just all, when I say it's all gone down, I mean it's like it's all going down. Yeah, I'm really intrigued to see how they sort of like wrap this up and end this off, to be honest, because there is so much going on. Now I do know that there's going to be a novella to this. There's going to be Fearful, which is going to be like a tandem read situation with this one. So apparently there are still some unanswered questions at the end of this book that will be answered in Fearful. I am currently on chapter 62, which is page 345, so I've got less than 100 pages to go. So I'm literally just going to sit here until there's shade in my garden and crack on with this book. And let's sit and finish this book. There's not really been any cute quotes or any like really cute moments. I've still put a few tabs in for like really big moments, but I haven't been able to give you any quotes because they'd all just be spoilers. I'm going to keep reading. So in all the truth that's just come out, I've just realised that everything the king was doing to Payden was even worse. I can't explain to you why, but the king is a fucked up man. That is all I have to say on the matter at the moment. Moving on. He has absolutely lost his mind. He's gone mental. He's actually gone crazy. What the fuck is going on? Ugh. Jesus. What the hell? I'm tabbing, but I can't tell you. The, like, full circle of this book, just the mirrors between this one and book one are crazy, and like how the trials are even coming up now, and the things that were doing in the trial had like dual meaning, and it's just so well done. It's so clever how this has been done. I feel quite bad in that I'm not that sad about what just happened. I'm more impressed by the writing than I am emotional to what just actually happened in the book, which shows you where my loyalties lie anyway. So I'm now intrigued to see how this sort of like plays out. Did I just finish Fearless, or did Fearless just finish me, in all honesty? I don't have an answer to that. So I have just finished Fearless by Lauren Roberts. Now this is probably my most anticipated read of 2025. Probably the book or the series that really got me into reading, that really made me a reader. And I've just read the book. I've just read the last book in the trilogy. I put off reading this book since it literally came out. So I've been putting this book off for literally like 3 months. I still have some questions that haven't been answered, but apparently we'll be getting the answers to those in the novella that we'll be getting for this book. Now I have theories about the novella. I always thought that was going to be Kit's, but now I have other ideas, I have other plans, I have theories. So the epilogue in this book was what I really hoped for throughout the entire 3 books, to be honest. But how we got there, I would have never predicted. Like the things that happened in this book, I had no clue. Now I didn't even read the synopsis of this book going into it. I didn't want any spoilers. I literally just wanted to go in and see how we went. So I literally went into this as blind as humanly possible. Now, I did not expect more trials. I didn't expect half of the things that happened in this book. But no, there were 3 amazing trials. I really enjoyed the parallels between this book and book 1. The twists and turns that happened in this book were honestly like mind-blowing. The last 100 pages of this book were just plot twist after plot twist after plot twist, and honestly I was baffled. It was amazing. It was amazing. I don't know what else I can say that isn't giving you guys spoilers. This book was just incredible. I loved it. You can see all the tabs. I mean, I didn't give you many quotes after sort of like the halfway point because they were all just going to give you massive spoilers. But honestly, everybody dreams for a love like I Am Payden's. It's just incredible. I'm not going to say anything else just because I know I'm going to end up giving you spoilers, and I don't want to be that person. So I'm going to leave this here, but I loved this book so much. This has honestly been a 5-star series for me. I'm just obsessed with this entire series. So I definitely recommend it if you haven't read it already. prepare for the biggest like emotional roller coaster of your life if you decide to pick this series up. But this book is honestly just torture. It's just, ugh, it's brutal. But I do recommend it so much. I finally finished it. Now we wait for September for the novella. But honestly, just some of the most amazing quotes. Just Kai and Payden's relationship is just incredible. It is so sweet and so loving, and I honestly highly recommend this series. I think everybody needs to read it. So there you go. Another 5-star, which makes for a full 5-star series. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And as always, my social media, my Amazon, my Goodreads and my business email are all in the description bar below. I do plan on doing some more videos like this with new releases and things. I've got a few pre-orders for the rest of this year on like new releases that I'm really looking forward to. So I'm hoping to maybe do some more videos like this. If that's something you're interested in, do let me know. I do really enjoy doing these sort of style reading vlogs. So that is it for the Fearless reading vlog. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you will. Take care. Bye.